Hare Krishna devotees, today we are into the second session. Preparing our eyes to see God also means access the truth beyond four defects. Yeah. So we need to understand today the access the truth beyond four defects. So from time immemorial, both the scientists and the spiritualists are trying to answer to one of the two fundamental questions. What is the source of creation? What is the source of life within the creation? You can keep it outside, Prabhu. Sachin Prabhu, you can keep it outside. So, what are the two questions? Yeah? No. Prabhu, don't manipulate. What is the source of creation? What is the source of life within creation? Okay? These are the two fundamental questions. You can give me the pen whenever. Source of creation, source of life within the creation. Yeah? So, who are trying to figure out the answers for these two? Scientists. Can you please get pens, Proji? Scientists, not now. Next time. Always next time exists. Spiritualists. Yeah? So, both the scientists and spiritualists are trying to understand these two fundamental questions which can actually solve problems for challenges of all of us forever. And most of our challenges in day-to-day life is because of not knowing these answers to these things. Because basically when we lose the purpose in our life, we then start leading our life without any directions. Today there are two things. Our corporate world has taught us to make us run like a rat race. There are time and there is a compass. Everyone are running after time. Get up in the morning, just take a bath or just put your corporate suit and run to the office, work there for 9, 10, 11, 12 hours, come back and take food, sleep, again go to the office, come back. Absolutely everyone's tails are burning. Yeah. So because time is making them to run. Absolutely no one has compass within them. What does the compass figure out? The direction where we are going. What is the purpose of doing all these things? Why we have to work so much? Why are we doing what we are doing? We have absolutely forgotten. Yeah. So because of that, absolutely we are seeing that this entire life is becoming so much dry and mechanical. How many of you agree? Completely dry and mechanical without any proper understanding of why we are doing what we are doing. Just running. Somehow we need to make money. And our whole life becomes just earning money, putting in the bank, and living this world where the bank becomes rich and we are poor. You are all with me? We are only making banks rich. We absolutely come poor and leave also poor without absolutely understanding of why we are living in this world. These fundamental questions no one is asking today. If anyone asks, they are going to the parents put them into a mental hospital to check whether they are all right. Yeah, this is the problem in today's world. When I also took up Bhagavad Gita study, my parents became very anxious. What is happening? And they sent so many of their friends and relatives to check whether my thermometer is working. Yeah. So this is the problem. Anyone goes to inquire about spiritual life, they are put into a group that you are gone case. Yeah. And everyone are in the rat race. I told you about the two paths. One is the path where everyone is traveling, is the rat race, path of rat race. Second, that's a ritual. Second path is the spiritual, where you inquire why you are doing what you are doing. Yeah, very important. So both the scientists and the spiritualists are trying to answer these two fundamental questions: the source of creation and the source of life within the creation. How did we all come together? Sometime when you go to the village, after a long time of corporate world, you see a clear sky. You will be sleeping in the field and see all the stars and planets, not planets, stars and, the moon and everything so clear. And you get amazed. How is it all coming together? How is that so many stars are, systematically positioned? Yeah. How is it all coming to being? Fundamental questions. Everyone, one day or the other, these questions keeps popping up. How many of you have this question have popped up in your life? Yeah, Piyush, well done. Wonderful. This question has popped up in you as well. How did this creation? Yeah. So both the scientists and spiritualists are trying to answer this question. And what are the faculties the scientists use to answer this? The faculties are basically senses and the mind. Yeah. These are the two faculties with which the scientists try to answer. And the spiritualists, the faculty they use is God. Yeah. So basically, in the modern world, scientists are always having a conflicting this one, that science is based on fact. Yeah. The science is based on fact, and the spirituality is based on faith. Spiritual people are all sentimental. They are all faith-based. Science is fact-based. Yeah? And science is reliable, more superior to spirituality, because we actually see what we believe in, what we see. Yeah? So seeing is believing is what the scientists slogan is. Yeah? So scientists think that while both scientists and spiritualists are trying to answer these two fundamental questions, I will tell you the Big Bang Theory. You know how much the America has spent to recreate the Big Bang Theory? What is the Big Bang Theory is all about? One day, before anything happened, you need to have a space to create something, right? You need to have a space. You cannot, Narayan Murthy cannot say that I actually made the Infosys to appear. There was a land to appear. It landed somewhere, right? So this Big Bang Theory tells that one day, a point of infinite mass with an infinite temperature exploded, and there was a synchronized, systematic creation that we are all living in today. When the explosion happens in Bombay or somewhere, you don't see a creation, systematic creation of, there is absolutely no construction. There is only destruction. People die, right? Whenever there is an explosion that happens, police come and ask who did this, and they put them to jail, not award them. Yeah. So this Big Bang Theory is basically about how did the creation takes place. Yeah. So basically, the scientists and the spiritualists are trying to understand the source of creation. They are investing billions of dollars. US has invested billions of dollars to recreate the Big Bang Theory. Yeah, who has read this in the newspaper? Yeah. So, source of life within creation, the source of creation, and what the scientists always, there is a tug of war between the scientists and spiritualists. And the scientists always say, you people are fools because you are all sentimental based on faith. We are all superior because our research is all about facts, and we are more reliable. Yeah. So we are trying to understand today that there are commonalities between both scientists and spiritualists. It is not that the scientific research is based on faith. Scientists also, all the research and the inventions are also start with faith. Yeah. So one of the commonalities between both the scientists and spiritual approach to the answers to the two questions above, both start with faith. I will tell you how. Yeah. Yeah. So basically the faith, what is the faith all about? We see in today's world, all the research that has taken place in today's world. With faith, it has all started. You also study your own chemistry, mathematics, the physics. It all starts with faith. Let A be a point. This is what the geometry tells you, right? You have a faith with which you start. What is all the point is all about? It is absolutely a non-dimensional entity. What is the definition of point? Non-dimensional entity which doesn't have any dimensions. So what is the line? Line is a single dimensional entity made up of points, infinite number of points. Yeah. Now you can ask, how is it possible for a non-dimensional entity to produce an dimensional entity? It is absolutely, in a research, in a scientific field, it is impossible, and this, this premises doesn't work. We need to understand. No non-dimensional entity can create a dimensional entity. What is a plane? Plane is a set of lines. Now it has a length and breadth. Combination of plane comes with the cube, which actually produces length, breadth, and height. Three-dimensional entity. So we started with, the entire geometry starts with basic assumption as let A be a point. You're all with me? So this is a basic faith. Show me the point. How many of you can actually show the point? Anyone can show the point? Yeah? Swaminathan Prabhu, can you show the point? Absolutely, point is non-existing. But hang on. Is it wrong? Is it not true? Yes, it is true. You need to start with a faith, with a assumption, and then go on proving it. Today, geometry has given rise to whatever the inventions today we have in the three-dimensional world. All the visualization power, AI, machine learning, operation research, machine design, architectural wonders we have created, civil engineering, all is coming from what? Geometry. Geometry exists. The point exists. What is the problem? The problem is we need to start with a particular assumption to start with. And then we need to move ahead in proving it. Then only we will be able to see the conclusion, the benefit of these assumptions which we make. You're all with me? So it also starts with faith. Yeah, the second is basically when you look into, how many of you are from mathematics? Yeah, have you seen this square root of -1 is imaginary I? Yes. Yeah, complex number, fantastic. Yeah, so how many of you are able to put I in the number line? Yeah, it is a basic principle of algebra. Yeah, Siri is there, who is a mathematics. Yeah, she's saying yes. Yeah, so the square root of -1 is I, is an imaginary number which doesn't exist, but doesn't it have the values? Doesn't it? Is it right or wrong? It is right, but we need to actually utilize this. We need to start this algebra with a fundamental assumption and go on proving it. And today, all the traffic signals, everything is based upon this fundamental assumptions which we have done. Yeah, you're all with me? You're all with me? How many of you are not understood? Yeah? So, I'm not going to answer you. Otherwise, I will get a kick from your Dodama. The third, how many of you are from mechanical background? Yeah? So, the third law of thermodynamics. Yeah, the entropy of an absolute crystal, perfect crystal, at an absolute temperature, zero temperature, is zero. I spoke about the entropy. Someone is already okay, thirsty, too much of science. Yeah, so entropy of a perfect crystal at an absolute zero temperature is zero. What is entropy is all about? We discussed about it. Please take care of the wires, do not shake it. Yeah, so what is the entropy is all about? It's a measure of disorder of the it's a measure of disorder. Yeah, so we discussed about how an entropy, a lower entropy and a higher entropy come together, what it gives rise to. Ice is lower entropy or higher entropy? Lower entropy. Water is higher entropy. When the water and the ice comes together, it gives rise to water of higher entropy. So man is of a higher entropy. Disorder is more. And a woman, higher entropy. Disorder is more. Two man and a woman come together, produce a child of lower entropy. How is it possible? If you want to bring higher entropies together, water and water, make it ice, you need to have an external agency to push in. So when husband and wife come together and produce a child of lower entropy, you need to have an external instrument to push in. Karmanam Daivanaitrena Jantur Deham Upapate. So we discussed about this last time. So there is a Daivanaitrena, influence of God, the supreme creator, with whose influence this procreation is taking place. Yeah. So the third law of thermodynamics, the entropy of a perfect crystal at an absolute zero temperature is zero. None of the laboratory can ever be able to manage zero temperature. Yeah. And it is impossible to have a perfect crystal. So we need to understand that this is an axiom. This is basically an assumption. So these assumptions are called axiomatic truth. Yeah. Axiomatic. What is axiomatic truth? The truth which doesn't have proof. Yeah. The truth which doesn't have, but it exists when we only apply and move forward with our research. Yeah. So this is when we say the spirituality is based on faith, the science is also based on faith. Yeah. So fundamental thing we need to understand, this is the commonality between science and spirituality. The second thing is the approach or the process to verify truths. So what is the process to verify truth? We start with theory, we have experiment, we have conclusion. You're all understanding? Theory, experiment and conclusion. So this is basically the approach the science fields does it day in and day out. We are also having a theory. We are not this body, we are the soul. But Prabhuji, can you prove it? Hang on. This is a theory to start with. Yeah. You need to at least start with certain belief. Yeah. This world is not all in all. Spiritual world exists. Yeah. This is a theory to start with, because we do not have something, a direct perception of proof that we will be able to show and see. Yeah. And this world is not all in all. Spiritual world exists. This life is not in all. The rebirth exists. How can you prove, Prabhuji? Can you tell what was your previous birth? What is going to, what you are going to? You only need to go to US, take a visa, go and meet Nityananda. He will be able to tell you. Yeah. So we are not all in all. God exists. Yeah. So these are all basically the theory which we start with, and basically we need to actually go through the experiment. Today what is happening is absolutely spirituality doesn't have a facility to experiment in any of our spiritual laboratories. All spiritual laboratory has become a hundi machine, wherein you go and see the deity, put hundi, some money, and then come back. That's all. Absolutely no, 99% of the temples, unfortunately, have become only a deity darshan temples. That's all. Definitely there is a benefit, no doubt about it. At the end, how many temples are giving this education? Very, very important. How many are actually trying to provide the laboratory in which you can actually experience? Last time, I was sharing with one devotee today while I was cooking. Last time after the cooking, Saturday, you all had feast. And the next day, when we were lifting the bin bag, where you are all have put your, whatever the remnants from your plate, right? It was around 15 kilo. 15 kilo remnants. And it was smelling. Divya only put it. And and when we lifted it, we were saying, what was wrong with the feast which we prepared last Saturday? Why is that? That the participant have a feeling to throw from the plate to the bin. And very, very surprisingly, there were kudubu as well. And it took immense amount of effort. Immense amount of effort. You don't know how much time I spent planning it, making it happen. So experiment starts with, especially when we put ourselves. I was telling someone in the kitchen today, if someone whoever is throwing out, they need to come to kitchen and see how much struggle we go through to cook. It is not easy. And it's not that 1 week it happens, it's okay. Marriages, no one cares. Yeah, it is a ceremony, rituals that happens, they leave. But still, wasting of food is not good. You are all with me? So, the experiment laboratory is absent in today's world. When you all come to the kitchen and experience how much time it takes to cook, then only you will be able to understand what is the value of cooking. And second thing is, there is a scientific process in which we actually cook. To come to the kitchen, you should have taken bath. There should not be no interval between after taking bath of going to the nature. If you go to the nature again, go take bath and come. You should be clean. With the clean cloth, you should come. We cook for the pleasure of Krishna. It gets offered to Lord Krishna and we accept it as prasad, remnants from Krishna. Prasade sarva dukkhanam hani yasyopajayate. So this medication, this prasad is the medication with which, while taking this purified, sanctified, the food, there is a purification process that happens. We need to get into the experiment part of it in our spiritual life. Hardly anyone gets into any experiment in today's world in spiritual life. There is only the thing is they just come as a parrot, they tell some shlokas they know, they go to the work and they do all what they work with, what consciousness is completely different to what consciousness they came in front of the deities. Absolutely, there is no relationship between our work and worship. Absolutely no difference. Because of it, many people think that, even within our culture, think that our spirituality is only about theory. There's a practicality is involved. If you do not know what is practicality in our Krishna consciousness, please come and ask me. I will tell you what are the systems that needs to be followed. It is not so rigid. It is basically anyone can approach Krishna. Doesn't matter who you are, which caste you are from, which creed you are from, which state you are from. Yeah, there's absolutely, if you are ready for the experiment, you should be a brave and courageous soul to get in. Yeah, so there is a theory, there is an experiment, and there is a conclusion. Only when you get into the experiment of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we chant 1.5 hours to 2 hours every day systematically. Every day, it's been happening for last 24 years. And see the magic that has happened from last 24 years. I have not stopped cooking on any of the weekends. Yeah, is there any possibility to do that in a normal occasions? Families mean so many reasons to leave weekend and go out. Had enough at our workplace, let's go out. Marriages come, the munjis come, the naming ceremony comes, relatives come. But irrespective of all these things, if you are doing it every week, there has to be some transformation that has happened in a person, right? Is it possible to do it? Unless and until there is a transformation in the person, then only it is possible. That means that there is an experiment that is happening which is actually transforming a person. And a conclusion. What is that conclusion is all about? Understanding that each and everyone are the brothers and sisters of the same creator, universal creator. Vasudhaiva Kutumbam. How to actually love among ourselves. Absolutely, the family is not all in all. World exists. You are all, and the working within the family is not all in all. Service to the community exists. You are all with me? This fundamental realization comes when we actually become selfless. Come out of our own shackles of our family. Think outside. How to think outside? Only when you put the theory, what you hear from Bhagavad Gita, into practice. And practice it every day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out. Krishna will bless you one day to realize this, that the life of Krishna consciousness exists. You're all with me? So the scientists also pass through the approach to verify the truth, theory, experiment, and practice. And in Sanskrit, it's called as Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana. Yeah, this is not something scientists have discovered it. Yeah, the Vedic system of approach is already existing from time immemorial. Scientists have only plucked it and named it with their own words to explain. Yeah, Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Yeah, so we have understood that the commonalities between scientists and spiritualists both start with faith, both have the same process of verifying the truth. Yeah, both have the same process. So we need to understand now, there's absolutely, is science is not required? Yes, it is required. Spirituality is not required? Yes, it is required. But absolutely, the science discovers objects for our utilization. Spirituality gives us the direction how to utilize it. Yeah. For example, a knife is discovered, but spiritual education gives you what is the purpose of using the knife. Yeah. Medical field, it provides you a systematic approach of saving lives, not lives, body. Yeah, curing our body. But at the same time, spiritual processes tells you that sukhe dukkhe samay krutva labho alabho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yuddhasya naivam papam apesi. You are supposed to treat the body, not steal the body. Yeah, very, very important. When there is a holistic combination of science and spirituality, then only the progress happens. We are not rejecting science, but we need to accept with positive intent. Yeah. So very, very important. The approach and the faith both are same. So the next comes how to actually gain the knowledge. How to actually gain the knowledge, the approach, yeah, the theory. So the theory, yeah, has 3 divisions. I'm going to give you the slides at the later point because I don't want to get stuck with the speed of the slides. Yeah, so I will give you and I will explain you, and then I will go into the slides, and then you will get a clear pictures how to get knowledge in this world. Yeah, so the science all tells believe in what you see. Do not believe anything which you do not see at all. So there is a direct perception. This is called pratyaksha praman. Then Anmeya praman, and then Shabda praman. Yeah. So these two are basically science, what they believe in. This is spiritualists believe in. Yeah. So science say that there is only 2 ways to access knowledge. What are the 2 ways? Direct perception. Believe in what you see. Let me tell you, in each and every day, there is a combination of pratyaksha, anumana, and shabda. Pratyaksha, anumana, and shabda to lead day-to-day life. There are so many examples in day-to-day life where we do not do our work just based upon direct perception. For example, you go to Surabhi Pure Veg Hotel. I'm just giving an example. And you go and order idli and vada. Yeah. Give me a fresh idli and vada. Yeah. So basically, when you go to fresh idli and vada, and what the hotel does, he will grind the rice of the 2 days whatever leftover rice, and he will put some urad dal mix and rice, this one mix, and makes the idli and give it pure, fresh. But there is a, do any one of you challenge them that I am going to only eat it if you tell me, show me how you are cooking from the source to the end. I want to directly perceive it. How many of you do it in your life? See, so you're all understanding. The science says only believe in what you see. Today's world, we do so many activities where we do it though we don't see them. But we take it with certain assumption, faith. You're all with me? I hope you're all with me. So you go to the hotel, you with the faith, you go and tell that please give me 4 idlis and 1 vada. Yeah? Don't know. With the faith, he says, yes, it is prasad, sir. It is all been offered. It is a faith that he has offered it. Don't know, because I am trying to actually arrange a picnic wherein I was asking so many temples in Srirangpatna, have you offering? Can you hear what they told yesterday? 4 temples in Srirangpatna said, it is we don't offer food. We cook, feed hundreds, we do not offer. Let me tell you, sir, you look to be very, very systematic person. We really thank you, for asking all this. We appreciate your sincerity in spiritual life, but we do not offer. Tell me today's world, how many marriages happen where the cooking gets offered? Absolutely, 99 out of 100 marriages, absolutely there is no convention, there is no systematic process of offering to the Lord and accepting it as prasad. Everyone says prasad, 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 but in holy places like Srirangpatna itself, I am able to find out that so many temples where they actually provide lunch, they do not offer. So with faith, you do so many transactions in day-to-day life. All of you. Yeah, all of you eat gobi Manchurian in, what is that shop? Amrut Gobi. I haven't eaten any time. I told Karthik, who is systematic, he is coming to our house and eating gobi Manchurian, which I cook. I told you I am going to cook corn Manchurian, gobi Manchurian, anything you want. But one thing you have to give me guaranteed. Oh, here. You are not going to go to Amrut Gobi anymore. See, sacrifice has to be there from him. Yeah? Only if you sacrifice, I can give you a gobi Manchurian which is 100 times tastier than that. One day I went to the Xerox copy, which is next to the Amrut Gobi in Chota Gadiyar in Mysore. Yeah? There is small Gadiyar place, circle, just near to that. I was standing in the early morning and I saw how the gobi Manchurian getting cut. All the gobis which were there, rotten, green, with paled red, rotting. He was just slicing it without even washing it. You know how the gobi is. Gobis is it's a Jurassic Park in itself. Gobis are Jurassic Park in itself, because there are so many animals which keep on flying and all those things. So absolutely there was no sanitization that was happening, and he was just flying those cut gopis into a colored batter, and it was going into the oil and it was getting prepared. And how many of you go with, I want to see, take out the gobi, wash it, put it in the batter and give it to me in front. Direct perception. I am a scientist. I believe in what I see. How many of you do it? Are you a scientist? Are you a scientist? So today's world, most of us are we are leading this life based upon all this. Yeah? We are not directly perceiving what is happening and taking it. We are Anumana also, we are actually applying. We see people coming out of the hotel, they are alive. Yeah, fantastic. wow, he is alive. Wow, let me go into the hotel. Let me eat. What is this called? Anumana Praman. Yeah, in day-to-day life, I'm telling you. And then also what you do is you go into the Google and you see how many likes are there, how many stars are there. Wow, he has 1150 stars. Oh, he's to be trusted. They are all called what they are called? They are all called experienced saints. Yeah. So we apply all these three processes. Day-to-day life, we do this. For example, if a person takes up electronic engineering, he goes and does he say that static electricity I am going to get into the lab only if you show me electric current flowing? You show me the electric current flowing, I will enter into the laboratory. Yeah? Do you do that? No, you you are not going to argue the direct perception I want to have. Are you going to argue? Absolutely not. You go with faith. Wherever, if you go to the you go to booking center in the flight, you go with faith. They are going to give you. You are going to pay them 1,50,000 for going to the US. They are going to give you a ticket with faith. Anything you do in this transaction, you are doing it with faith. There's absolutely yes, there's a direct perception. You see that someone has gone. Yeah. So similarly, we need to understand that the spirituality also, there is a Shabda involved. So we have Pratyaksha, Anumana and Shabda. So the Pratyaksha has 4 defects that we are going to actually look into. Why the Pratyaksha, direct seeing is believing, is not a right way of gaining knowledge. Seeing is believing is not a right way of gaining knowledge. And Anumana is not also the right way of gaining knowledge. For example, one of the devotee holding a carton of Bhagavad Gita enters into a pub. And starts giving out the Bhagavad Gita. For an outsider, he will get shocked. Dhoti kurta, holding, one box, entering into, and he goes and he asks someone, what is that box? Bhagavad Gita. So then he starts making Anuman. A devotee who becomes serious in his Krishna consciousness, starts reading Bhagavad Gita, then he continues to go to the pub, holding boxes of Bhagavad Gita and reading in the pub, taking drinks. This is called Anumana. You're all with me? What is the problem with Anumana Praman? It is not correct because you are only making assumptions after assumptions after assumptions. What is the solution to this? Go directly to the person and ask, why did you go inside? You look to be a saintly. Why did you go? And he will tell you, I actually wanted to meet the hotel owner so that I can actually give Bhagavad Gita book to him. And I wanted to give 1 carton of Bhagavad Gita to the hotel owner. When you ask that person why you went to the hotel pub, then only he will be able to tell. Otherwise, if you start making assumptions yourself and speculating, it's all speculation. Big Bang theory, speculation. Chance theory, speculations. And next is theory of evolution, Darwin's theory of evolution. How many? We all came from monkeys. How many of you have read it? And today the CBSE have taken it out. Yeah, we all and the animals, because of the the evolution, they became giraffe. Yeah. So how many have you read and passed your exams? Yeah. So all of us. Yeah, we need to understand. So basically, these 3 ways of gaining knowledge is very, very much required. In day-to-day life, we are doing it. Why do we question when it comes to spirituality that you are only focusing on Shabda? No. So basically, in spiritual life also, we actually take Shabda. Just like you go and you see into the doctor, you are looking into the title of the doctor, and also you ask, you go and verify from the systematic verification you do whether the hospital is worthy to go. See, what is that all about? It is Shabda. The KL Tareja is a Shabda. The person who wrote Book of Electricity in our engineering. What is BL Tereja or KL Tereja? BL Tereja. How do you know, bro? You are not engineer. Huh? You are electrical engineer. अभी तक पता नहीं था, bro जी. So BL Tereja is a, and the thing is, it works. When you apply, it works. And you see the results, you see the goal approved, objective, solved when you go apply the science, the electrical engineering. The application is there. So we also have, the Shabda Praman, wherein we actually take foundational principles from the authoritative scriptures. Why do we do that? Because the Pratyaksha Praman and Anumana Praman are not conclusive all in all, but at the same time, while you are taking Pratyaksha also, you need to combine little bit of your intelligence from Pratyaksha and Anumana, but majority of your conclusion should come from Shabda. You need to verify. What is that Pratyaksha and Anumana? You see some devotee behaving weirdly. You need to check whether he is an authorized person from Shabda, what is given in Bhagavad Gita. You are all with me? You see a devotee who is, behaving weirdly. Bhagavad Gita scriptures are the litmus test to check how many people, spiritualists today, who are making money, going to the US, and doing all kinds of attracting all kinds of people, Hollywood, Bollywood, everyone, and giving big presentations. Are they rely on Shabda? Majority don't. Yeah? Someone told, I don't read Bhagavad Gita, I don't believe. I don't think there's a necessity to read Bhagavad Gita. But I even if I read some spiritual books, that is only to increase my English speaking skills. You understand? Famous people who have the birth from Mysore itself speak like that. Very, very important. All these famous spiritualists, one way to understand whether they are bona fide is to check what is this you are relying on. What is the Shabda is all about? Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas are all the Shabda from which we actually take the direction of the compass of how to lead life, what is the purpose of life. We verify through Pratyaksha and Anumana. Definitely in day-to-day life, practically when we are doing for living, spiritual life also we try to do it. But at the end of the day, we need to put application from Shabda. That is the topic of today's. So I'm going to show you now with this. I hope all of you would be able to relate to these slides.